Robert Downey Jr. has done it again. Just when the world thought Tony Stark's story was over for good, he dropped a single line that sent Marvel fans into a frenzy. During a recent interview, the man behind Iron Man smirked, leaned forward, and said, "You never know what the future holds." That was all it took. Twitter exploded. Reddit lit up. And Marvel's diehard fans began piecing together every clue they could find. For years, Downey has been crystal clear about his Marvel exit after Avengers Endgame. Tony Stark sacrificed himself to save the universe, and Downey said his chapter was closed. But this latest comment, delivered with that trademark star-cleavel confidence, didn't sound like goodbye. Sounded like a door creaking open, adding fuel to the fire. Marvel Studios has been heavily teasing its upcoming multiverse projects, with films like Avengers, Secret Wars, and Armor Wars on the horizon. Rumors are spreading faster than an Iron Man Mark 85 suit taking flight. Could Marvel be plotting a return, even if it's just a cameo? Fans have started analyzing every move Downey makes, from the events he attends to the cryptic photos he posts. And here's the kicker. Downey wasn't alone during that interview. Marvel president Kevin Feige was right there, smiling, refusing to deny anything. No confirmation, no denial, just that knowing Marvel's silence. Was this an innocent remark or the ultimate Easter egg? Marvel has a history of using misdirection to protect its biggest surprises, and Downey Jr. has never been shy about playing along, whatever's happening behind the scenes. One thing is clear. The Iron Man conversation isn't over. If you've been keeping an eye on Marvel's Phase 5 and Phase 6 announcements, you'll notice one theme keeps coming up: the multiverse. That's not just comic book jargon, it's Marvel's secret weapon to bring back characters we thought were gone forever. Think about it. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness introduced multiple versions of heroes across different realities. Loki shattered the timeline, unleashing variants of major characters. And with Avengers: Secret Wars confirmed, Marvel is clearly building toward a story where universes collide. In that kind of chaos, who's to say Tony Stark, or at least Atney Stark, couldn't appear again? Industry insiders have already been whispering about legacy cameos in future Marvel projects. The idea is simple. Heroes who died in one timeline might show up alive in another. For Iron Man fans, that's not just wishful thinking. It's practically an open invitation. And Robert Downey Jr. knows it. Even Marvel president Kevin Feige recently hinted that no character is ever truly gone in the multiverse. Combine that with Downey's playful, "you never know what the future holds," and you've got fans convinced something big is brewing. Imagine the possibilities. Tony Stark appearing as a mentor to Riri Williams in Armor Wars. Or a darker, alternate Iron Man making a shocking entrance in Secret Wars. These aren't far-fetched theories. They line up perfectly with Marvel's storytelling playbook, whether it's a full return or just a brief but emotional cameo. Marvel now has the narrative tools to make it happen without undoing Tony's heroic sacrifice in Endgame. And if Downey really is slipping back into that iconic red and gold armor, the multiverse will make it look effortless. Asterisk, the moment Robert Downey Jr. dropped that now famous hint, Marvel fans went into full detective mode. Social media exploded, with speculation, not just wild guesses, but carefully crafted theories backed by screenshots, event photos, and even supposed leaks from anonymous insiders. On Reddit, entire threads are dedicated to tracking Downey's every move. Was that lunch meeting with Marvel executives in Los Angeles just a friendly catch-up, or the first step toward a contract renewal? On Twitter, fan accounts are dissecting his recent posts, noting everything from the color of his suits to the timing of his interviews. Even TikTok is filled with frame-by-frame analysis of Marvel trailers, searching for any hint of an Iron Man Easter Egg.1 viral theory claims that Marvel has already filmed Downey's cameo in complete secrecy, pointing to a mysterious 3-week gap in his public schedule last year. Another theory suggests his return won't be as a hero at all, but as a variant Iron Man with a sinister twist. Lining up with the darker storylines hinted at in Secret Wars, the passion is undeniable. Fans are editing their own return trailers, combining old Endgame footage with multiverse visuals to imagine Tony Stark flying back into battle. Some have even written entire scripts for how Marvel could logically reintroduce him without undoing his sacrifice. And this frenzy isn't just entertainment. Marvel has a history of monitoring fan buzz closely. When theories catch fire, the studio sometimes leans into them. The hype around Downey's potential comeback has already reached a point where ignoring it might be harder than delivering it. While Marvel Studios keeps its secrets locked tighter than Stark Industries. There have been a few suspicious sightings that fans can't ignore. Industry insiders claim Robert Downey Jr. has quietly met with Marvel executives on multiple occasions over the past year. Meetings that no one seems willing to explain. The first clue came when Downey was photographed leaving Marvel's Burbank headquarters late one evening. No official statement was made, but eyewitnesses say Kevin Feige himself was there that day. Of course, meetings happen all the time in Hollywood, but with Downey having retired from Marvel, why show up at all? Then there's the story from a crew member who worked on a recent Disney Plus project. According to the anonymous source, security protocols on set were unusually strict during 1 week of filming. Some even claim a mystery VIP was escorted in and out of the studio without appearing on call sheets, sparking speculation that it was Downey filming a secret cameo. Adding to the intrigue, Marvel has been unusually quiet about future casting decisions. Normally, Feige is quick to shut down impossible rumors. But when asked point-blank about Iron Man's return, he simply smiled and said, "We'll see where the multiverse takes us." That's not a denial, it's Marvel. Code for something's happening, but we're not ready to tell you. Even Downey's inner circle has fueled rumors. Close friends and collaborators have been dodging questions about whether he's really done with the MCU. And every time he's asked about a comeback, that trademark Stark smirk says more than words ever could. If there's one thing Marvel has proven time and time again, it's that no character is ever truly gone. Death in the Marvel Cinematic Universe isn't always permanent. It's a plot twist waiting to happen. Take Loki, for example. The god of mischief has died multiple times. Yet his Disney Plus series turned him into one of the central figures of Marvel's multiverse saga. Gamora. She was sacrificed in Infinity War only to reappear from an alternate timeline in Endgame. Even Red Skull, long thought to be finished after Captain America, the first Avenger, came back as the guardian of the Soul Stone. Marvel knows how to play the long game. These surprise returns generate massive headlines, dominate fan discussions, and keep the MCU feeling unpredictable. So why wouldn't they consider doing the same for Tony Stark, especially when Robert Downey Jr. remains one of the most beloved actors in superhero history? The studio also has a knack for planting seeds years in advance. Remember when Peggy Carter mentioned Project Insight in Captain America? The Winter Soldier, long before Civil War, revealed Hydra's infiltration. Marvel loves to foreshadow, and fans suspect Downey's teasing comments are part of a carefully planned strategy. This pattern makes one thing clear: Marvel doesn't close doors. It leaves them cracked open just enough for fans to peek through. Whether Tony Stark returns as a hero, a hologram mentor, or a darker multiverse variant, it wouldn't be the first time Marvel flipped the script to shock audiences. And if history is any guide, they'll do it in a way that feels inevitable, as though the comeback was part of plan all along. Asterisk. Robert Downey Jr. has repeatedly said Tony Stark's story ended perfectly in Avengers Endgame. But if that's true, why keep teasing a return? The answer might lie in both personal and professional reasons. First, there's Downey's love. For the role itself, Tony Stark wasn't just a character, it was a career-defining transformation. From Iron Man in 2008 to Endgame in 2019. Downey didn't just play the MCU's biggest hero, he built MCU even years after stepping away. He still speaks about Stark with deep affection, calling the role a once-in-a-lifetime gift. Second, Downey has never been afraid to revisit past roles when the timing feels right. After all, this is an actor who thrives on fan connection. A brief cameo, a multiverse twist, or even a voice role as an AI version of Tony Stark could give audiences the thrill they want without undoing Tony's sacrifice. There's also the undeniable pull of legacy. Marvel's next phase is introducing a new generation of heroes, characters like Riri Williams, Ironheart, and Kate Bishop Hawkeye. Having Stark return even briefly could serve as a symbolic passing of the torch, giving these young heroes instant credibility while giving Downey one last moment in the suit. And let's not ignore the financial side. Marvel knows an Iron Man return would dominate the box office. Even a few minutes of screen time could turn a big release into a global event. For Downey, it's less about money and more about impact, but Marvel certainly understands both. Put simply, the timing feels right. The multiverse is open, the fans are asking for it. And Downey seems more playful than ever about the possibility. One of the biggest concerns among fans, and Robert Downey Jr. himself, is preserving Tony Stark's perfect ending. Avengers Endgame gave us one of the most emotional sacrifices in movie history. Undoing that moment would risk cheapening it. So how could Marvel bring him back without erasing that heroic finale? The answer lies in clever storytelling. First, the multiverse offers countless options. A Tony Stark from another universe could appear briefly, letting Downey play the character again without tampering with the original Stark's sacrifice. That way, our Tony remains gone, but audiences still get that rush of seeing him in action. Second, Marvel could explore AI Tony Stark, a digital consciousness uploaded before his death. In the comics, Stark has mentored young heroes as an artificial intelligence, guiding them while never truly coming back to life. This would allow Downey to return as a voice role or even a holographic projection, a cameo that feels meaningful, not forced. Third, there's the flashback route. Upcoming projects like Armor Wars or Avengers: Secret Wars could feature scenes set in the past, giving Stark new material without rewriting history. These appearances would serve as emotional callbacks, not plot reversals. Finally, Marvel could give us a variant with a twist. Not the heroic Stark we know, but one darker, perhaps even villainous. Seeing Downey play against type would thrill fans while keeping Endgame's ending sacred. Whatever route Marvel takes, one thing's certain, they know how important Tony Stark's legacy is. Any return will be carefully crafted to honor his sacrifice, not erase it, ensuring his final "I am Iron Man" moment still stands tall. If Robert Downey Jr. does come back as Tony Stark in any form, it wouldn't just be a movie moment, it would be a global event. The MCU has had plenty of surprises, but nothing would match the shockwave of Iron Man stepping out of the shadows after Endgame. For fans, it would be pure nostalgia. Tony Stark isn't just another superhero. He's the face that launched the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe. His return would unite old and new Marvel audiences, bridging the gap between the Infinity Saga and the multiverse era. For younger viewers, meeting Riri Williams or America Chavez, having Stark back for even a scene would make the new generation instantly feel connected to the legacy heroes. For the industry, this move would be box office gold. Cameo in Secret Wars or Armor Wars could turn an already big release into one of the highest-grossing films of all time. Merchandise would skyrocket, interviews would dominate headlines, and Marvel would reclaim every ounce of hype it's ever had. But the real impact, it's emotional. Robert Downey Jr. has always said he owes everything to Iron Man, and fans feel the same about him. Bringing him back even briefly would be a love letter to the audience, a reminder of why people fell in love with the MCU in the first place. Whether it's a multiverse variant, a flashback, or a holographic mentor, one thing is crystal clear: Tony Stark's story may have ended, but Iron Man's presence is eternal. And if Marvel decides to open that door even for a moment, fans around the world will be ready to shout it from the rooftops: I am Iron Man.